Gary.
It is actually Mo, which means, Greg, you get to make a decision. Do you want to go first, or would you like to listen to Elizabeth go first?
I'll go first.
He's a gentleman. Elizabeth, you got to hand it to him. I love that. All right, Greg, then you are going to go first. Let's go to the randomizer and see just what you are going to be answering. Activate the randomizer. All right, Greg, this is going to be a buyer. And the buyer says to you, look, I want to buy something, I really do, but I can't afford anything that doesn't need work. And even worse than that, even if I bought something that needed work, I can't afford the contractors. I think I'm out.
All right, well, I can totally appreciate that. The one thing I want you to consider is the value of your current home. A lot of folks aren't aware that the home that they currently live in is worth a lot more than they've actually considered. So at first, I want to take a step back and have the opportunity to work with you and actually help you identify the true value in what you have to work with. After that, understanding that we can go and through a series of research of looking at different properties, we can find the home that is going to have a low amount of work to do here, right? And that is going to be a part of your buying criteria. And I'm going to help you every step of the way find that. When you do find the property that you're looking for, it's about getting discounts and references of reliable contractors, because I know a lot of people have had some real challenges. And when they think contractor, they think pain. And it's my job as your realtor to make this process smooth. And that goes from the very beginning to the very end and years to come. So I know you've only got a couple seconds for me, but I hope I have an opportunity to meet with you and get this process going.
That's fantastic. Stop the clock. I love it. That is in the vault. Very well done. All right, Elizabeth, I'm coming to you. I'm a buyer. I can't afford anything that doesn't need work. And worse yet, I can't afford the contractors even if I wanted to buy it. I think I'm out. What do you tell me?
Jason, no, this is exactly why we need to meet. There are a ton of loan products out there that will allow you to roll in the home improvement cost in your mortgage payment. And on top of that, we have partnered with great contractors and investors who have other ways of home ownership path for you. So we need to meet right away. So what time this afternoon works for you?
I love it. Stop the conversation. If you don't need a minute, better yet, do it in 26 seconds. Elizabeth, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, now you at home and you in the studio audience, it is now your job. The show does not work without you. So I'm about to release the voting. Before I do, let me just build the suspense and just set the stakes one more time. Just understand that henceforth, these people will be known by this result. Their lives are in your hands. All right, that said, I declare the voting open. Greg, I don't even know if I got this right, but TL, speaker, coach, investor, trainer, realtor, media company owner, landlord, and all the hashtag all the things. Give us, how do you do all the things? Give us one tip.
One tip is leverage. Keller Williams, I never would have thought that I could do all of those things. And the reason I display those so proudly on my Facebook account is because I want to showcase and show people that they too can have all of these things. But it's through a process of education, and Keller Williams is giving me that gift of leverage.
I love that. Elizabeth, your dream was to own a farm. I have dreams too. They don't include farms, but this is your dream we're talking about. And you bought it 4 years ago during Bold. And I'm wondering, is it a coincidence that it happened during Bold, or why Bold?
No, absolutely. I am 22 times Bold. And when we did that exercise to write down your goals, I literally drew out the farm on my card. And that was spring Bold and fall Bold. I was closing on that farm.
That's unbelievable. You're 22 times Bold?
22 times Bold.
Okay, so if I'm out there and I've only taken Bold once, or worse yet, I've never taken it, which, by the way, I'm talking to you, take Bold. Elizabeth, why should anyone take Bold?
You know, Jason, I've never stepped into the same Bold room twice because I'm a different person. The message is different. I'm in a different place in my life. So Bold is about who you're becoming. It's not a one-time event.
I love that. You know, the objection that we were talking about, this idea that prices have been going up, and in some markets so high so fast that so many folks are saying, I'm spending more money on a house than I ever thought I would, and I don't know that I love the house. And this idea that I don't have enough money to get it to be the home I love is real. You see, if you were to ask me what I think the answer here is, and you're voting on their answers, here's what I think we can all agree on. We have to have a plan when this comes up. Greg, I think we're going to continue to hear this well into the new year. Don't you?
Oh, yeah, it's extremely common. A lot of folks, unless they have unlimited funds, they're not going to have the perfect house. So it's a balance, what you can get for how much money you have. And for the shortfalls that you'll have to accept, you're going to have a solution or a plan for them. And for that,
that's the thing. The question's going to be is who are the real estate agents that can put together the right bundle of fiduciary service and then financial products such that the consumer can win before the transaction, during the transaction, and then when they live in the home. Remember, buying the home isn't the ending. It is the ending of the beginning. All right, you guys, you voted. You want to know what happened. By the way, y'all are both Jedi. I know that, but there can be only one that moves to the next round to face one, Cody Gibson. And Elizabeth, it's going to be you. We're going to see you in the next round against Cody Gibson. All right, you guys. So good. So this is the thing, and while we're getting ready for the next round, I'm serious. Everybody has to really give it some thought. This idea that we somehow can be one-dimensional and we can only help people buy or we can only help people sell, or once they do one of those two things, we're out until the next 7 years down the road when they're ready for us. Friends, that's going away. The question isn't what are we going to do to follow up. The question is what are we going to do that's so valuable that people follow up with us? That's the challenge of the industry. That's where we're headed. All right, we're going to the next round. We got Tony and we got Ed. Tony, how you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Abrams. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Oh, you got the boxing gloves on. Ed, it's going to be a fight. How are you doing, sir?
Jason, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. All right, Tony, I'm coming to you to flip the ceremonial coin. You got Mo Anderson on one side, Gary Keller on the other. Call it in the air.
Mo.
It is Mo. That means you get to choose. Would you like to go first or would you like to listen to Ed?
I would like to listen to Ed, please.
All right. Everyone here likes to listen to Ed too. Ed, you are going to have a chance. Engage the randomizer. All right, Ed. We got a seller. And the seller says, selling my house right now doesn't seem safe with the Delta variant going around. What do you say to that, Ed?
Jason, I completely understand your concern. Unfortunately, we've had this problem for a year. Fortunately, we've had a year to perfect protocols to avoid people getting sick. We have a system in place. We use electronic scheduling to make sure we don't double up on showings. We provide hand sanitizer, gloves, foodies. We make sure that the showings are spaced out. If we do an open house, we make sure that everybody signs in and verifies that they don't have any of the symptoms known to be COVID-like symptoms. So we do everything possible. Now, since this is going on, we've sold hundreds of homes, and we've never had that issue. So I think that going forward, we're going to be safe with you. And I know that if you put your trust in us, we can get it sold. So how about listing this house tomorrow for you?
There it is. Break conversation. I love it. Being kind is cool. I think that's a great sign. Very well done, Ed. Tony, I am coming to you. I'm a seller. Look, selling my house right now doesn't seem safe with the Delta variant going around. What do you tell me?
Yeah, Jason, I understand that completely. Tell me what you're most worried about with the Delta variant that's going around.
Oh, I don't know. Getting sick and dying-ish.
I know, right? It's a big deal right now. I hear you. You know, the cool thing about partnering with our group is that we've been going through this for the last 18 months, and our systems and our models have really changed so that we can accommodate that. So depending on what you're most comfortable with, we can have a small block of showing windows where everyone is in and out at the same time, especially in this low inventory market, to take away people in and out all the time. What we're also offering to all of our sellers is after we do that showing block, we'll have a professional cleaner come in and clean the house for you on our expense. Do you think that would make you feel a little bit more comfortable?
I think so.
That's wonderful. Is there anything else we can do that will help you feel more comfortable? We do everything. I just want to know what makes you most comfortable so that we can accommodate that for you.
I don't even know what to say. I don't know the answer, but it sounds like you do.
That's right. That's why we're sitting here together.
There it is. 1 minute has ran up. Tony, fantastic job. Ed, fantastic job. Studio audience, if you like what you saw, put your hands in the air. Do something so we know that you're all alive, and they are. Thank you, April from KWRI. Appreciate you. All right, now we have to do some voting. So everybody, please get ready. Make sure you are at VoxVote, pin number 71730. Streaming out live to 50 countries. Lots of voting. I'm watching a heat map. You guys can't see it. Coming in from our friends in Europe and South Africa. Thank you for being here, KW Worldwide. You all are stars, not just here, but everywhere. All right, voting is open. Go. All right, you guys. History is already in the can, so now there's no more pressure. Now we just get to relax. I'm curious. Here's the thing about consumer behavior, Tony, is that it changes whether we want it to change or not. And it's in these moments when consumer behavior changes that we can take the moments that don't matter and turn them into moments that do matter. What's your take? If you were going to say real estate agents, you got to do one thing moving into a digital and yet physically enhanced world, what would you tell us?
I think we need to be asking more questions, right? At Keller Williams, we can offer anything. Is marketing important to you? Communication. What is the most important to you? So finding out what's important to the consumers and then having that conversation, because if you and I were talking and I'm throwing at you what a great marketer I am, but that doesn't matter to you, getting top dollar matters, I need to be talking about negotiating. So letting them know that we're keeping up on the times, we're changing our systems and models to meet what they need. I think that's always the key, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I'm going to ask you a totally different question because no one wears a bright red shirt unless you love KW. What is magical about Keller Williams for you, sir?
The systems and models and MAPS coaching, it's changed my life. It's changed my business.
Tell me a little more about that. What about it changed your life? First of all, who's your MAPS coach? Let's give a shout out to a MAPS coach.
Jeff Adler.
Jeff Adler. If you don't know him, you better know him because he's changing lives. All right, Ed, what did he do that changed yours?
Well, he's focused us on our business, on the growth, profitability, and how to relate and communicate with, Keller Williams is unique. I can, text Cody Gibson, or I can text you if I have a question and I get answers. It's not like, okay, we'll get back to you later. It's a unique, it's truly a family, and everybody is bought into everybody else's success. It's friendly competition, but we all want everybody to win.
I love it. You're right. We are all connected. You can all reach me anytime you want. And mark.king@kw.com. By the way, Ed, that was awesome. Friends, the votes are in. You're both amazing. Remember, in order to get here, you had to be a champion in your own right. That said, there can be only one. Tony, you're moving on to the next round. Oh, drink some Gatorade. Do some stretches. We're coming back for you. All right, so this idea, by the way, that objection and these ideas around it, this is very real. I was once told that if you give the right presentation and say, then, do you have any questions? The person looks at you and doesn't have any. The only time that happens is when you've answered every quote-unquote doubt or concern that they might have. This is to say that if this is prevalent in your marketplace, you might want to get ahead of it as opposed to waiting for someone to ask it. The fact of the matter is that our businesses can't stop because of what's happening on around us. Things are always happening around us. The question is, how do we react? And when we react, do we do it the right way? And that's with culture. God, family, and business, in a very prescribed order, makes the difficult decisions a heck of a lot easier. All right, you guys, we're going to the next round. We got Aubrey and we got Matt. Aubrey, how are you, sir? I don't know if we can hear Matt. We're going to check with you. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Matt, we can hear you. Aubrey, last, can we hear you? Aubrey, if we can't hear you, you're going to have a real hard time getting voted. This is going to be fantastic. All right, Matt, I'm coming to you then to call it in the air. It's either going to be Gary or Mo.
Gary.
It is actually Mo, which means Aubrey, this might save you because if we can't hear you, you're going to buy yourself some time. Do you want to go first or do you want Matt to go first? Aubrey, if you want Matt to go first, give the thumbs up. Smart man. I think you made the wise choice. All right, Aubrey's going to try to get that figured out. We are going to Matt. Please engage the randomizer. There it is. All right, Matt, this is a buyer. And the buyer says to you, look, I've been looking for a house, but I feel like the market is bound to crash. Let's be honest, what goes up always goes down. I think I'm going to wait before I buy. Matt, what do you tell me?
Jason, what scares you the most about the market?
Overpaying.
I can totally understand that. Here's what we know. We know interest rates are at a historical low, so you're getting that. We also know historically home values have gone up. There's been some bumps in the roads, but overall they've gone up from point A to point B. So how about we take advantage of those low interest rates and go ahead and get you in a house now?
There it is. Why take a minute when you can say it in 21 seconds? Only if Aubrey needs you to buy time. Matt, I see a strategy there. All right, Aubrey, I got to come to you. And here's the challenge of this. If we can't hear you, Aubrey, can you hear me? Oh, this is heartbreaking. For those of you that know Aubrey, this is absolutely crushing him right now. Aubrey, you're going to have two choices. You can answer this question using pantomime, which, by the way, I would love to see that, and I believe you have a shot. Or you can get a whiteboard and scribble furiously. Either way, you got to make a choice. Aubrey, are there any hand motions? Do you want to? Okay, that's good. I would keep going. Anything else? 2 words, starts with. All right, well, friends, this is sometimes how it goes in the big city. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to vote on this anyway. Aubrey, we're going to try to bring you back. Are you live? He's not. Matt, Aubrey is unable to compete at this moment, and by the rules, this means that you advance to the next round. I know it is not the way that you wanted to advance, Aubrey. I know it's heartbreaking. Matt, thank you so much. We will see you in the next round. You know, they say that the single greatest words of 2021 were all spoken on mute. Pound that heart button if you know anything about it. How many times do you have to tell someone they're on mute? Aubrey wasn't on mute. That was a technical challenge, and we apologize. But let's be real. Mute is a real thing now. Let's get to this objection, by the way, that anything that goes up goes down. Here's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. That's absolutely right. Whether it was interest rates from 78 to 81, or whether it was oil from 79 to 81, or whether it was the stock market boom of 84 and crash of 87, or the bond market boom of 90 and crash of 94, or the tech boom of 98 and the crash of 2001, 2000-ish, or the real estate boom from 04 to whatever it destroyed itself in your market, or then gold after that, or Bitcoin in the last 24 months, all of these things go up and all of these things go down. Here's what we know, though. The trend line never lies. And residential real estate and commercial real estate is a heck of a good thing to buy. It's a heck of a good thing to hold. And if you hold it long enough, friends, you never get hurt. All right, we're in round number 2, and that means the king is here. Cody Gibson, how are you, sir?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Smile said, oh, it's an honor. It's an honor to have you here. Elizabeth, okay, we're going to do this thing. You get to call it in the air. Do you want to go Mo or Gary?
Let's go, Gary.
It is actually Mo, and this man did not need another advantage. Cody, would you like to go first, or would you like to yield to Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, I would love to go first.
Oh, interesting. All right, engage the randomizer. All right, Cody, it's a seller. Oh, this is right up your alley. I'm sure you've never heard this in the last 3 minutes. Here we go. It's a seller, and the seller says, this is a seller's market. Because all of a sudden, all the sellers are experts in what the okay, this is a seller's market, so you should reduce your commission because my house will be easy to sell. Cody, you can't blame me. What do you say to me?
Got it, Jason. Makes perfect sense. Let me ask you, commission set aside, is there anything else that we need to discuss today that would keep you from hiring me to get the job done?
Say that to me one more time. I'm sorry, I was getting a note, Cody. It was breaking news.
That's okay. Outside of commission, is there anything else that you and I should discuss today that would keep you from hiring me right now to get the job done?
No, I think you're fabulous. I'm just going to pay less, though. That's how it's going to work for me.
Got it. Makes perfect sense. So what I hear you saying is, I'm the guy. There's nobody else you know can get a better job done. You're just a little worried about how much you pay me to get the job done. Is that right?
Yes.
Got it. I get it. You know what? Making you the most amount of money is the only job I have here. What I'd like to do is this. Let's go ahead and get everything signed, get everything taken care of. We'll circle back at the end and we'll talk about commission, which is the brokerage fee. But the most important thing around that is that first we're going to pay half of that to the agent who brings the offer. We'll talk about that and what that means. That leaves half for marketing and getting the word out and getting the most amount of people through your house. So my question would be, should we reduce the part that we're paying the other agent who has the buyer as well, or should we reduce the part of marketing?
Well, I don't want to reduce either of those things. I want to pay you less.
Right. I totally get it. Makes perfect sense. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and do the right thing. Let's get everything signed. At the very end, when we have the home sold and you've agreed to a price, it's time to go to closing. I'm going to come back to you on my side of the commission. If you feel like I haven't earned it, you could pay me less then. Is that fair?
Oh, yes. There it is. Okay. Cody, I gave you an extra 22 seconds because I stole 22 seconds from you from not listening when you were speaking. My apologies. All right. Good enough. Everybody's got that in their mind. And now we're going to go to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, it's a seller's market, so you should reduce your commission because mine's going to be the easy one to sell. What do you tell me?
You know, Jason, it might surprise you to hear that during this seller's market, the real estate transaction has also become very complex because with multiple offers, terms, financing contingencies, it's actually never been more important to have a fiduciary and a professional in your corner. This, again, is your most important asset, and you want to make sure that you net the most out of it. So are you ready to get started today?
There it is. All right, break the time. Fantastic. Both phenomenal answers. All right, everybody at home, you got to do your part. Go ahead and vote. All right, Cody, I'm coming to you. What's it like to be reigning champion, waking up every day knowing that an entire industry is chasing you? Have the last 6 months been agonizing? Tell us.
I don't know. I have prepared my whole life for this moment. This is it. This is the crescendo of my entire career.
Yeah, I'm very clear on that. You're also doing amazing things with expansion, and recently you've been named the Growth Expansion Director. Congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you. It's my honor to see that happen, and what Gary and the entire group has there for us as agents going to the next level. It's cool. It couldn't be cooler than it is.
So if you were going to tell us one thing about expansion that you're on fire about, what would it be?
Well, we do have, which I don't know if I can share this is live, so here it goes. We do have at kweso.com, you can sign up for the first ever digital one-day ESO coming up the end of September. And during MegaCamp, if you sign up, it's free, no cost, $0, zip zero.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thanks for making that up on the spot and making it free. Everyone here, I'm sure, is amazingly appreciative. That's fantastic. Very cool. Elizabeth, I want to come to you. 22 golds, which means that there's clearly something magical about that course for you. But if that was it, that wouldn't be enough. What's magical about KW for you?
You know, you never arrive, Jason. I mean, I always tell people this is the first job I was never able to outgrow because the company is constantly evolving, taking me longer to ride, and it's just invaluable.
I love that. So when you look out now, if you're speaking to the entire planet right now, we have new agents, we have experienced agents, we have everybody in the middle. What's the one thing that every real estate agent needs to wake up tomorrow and do more of?
Wake up every day realizing you're unemployed, go out and lead generate, get yourself employed, and then make yourself better and educate and read something every day.
I love that. I spoke to a builder once. And I said, "You're a builder?" And he said, "I don't have any lots to build on right now, so I'm just unemployed. But I'm trying to be a builder today." I think that's exactly what you're saying. I love it. You all are both awesome. But let me just tell you this. To the capacity crowd and the millions around the world, there will be a new champion this year. Cody, we love you. You have served us well. But Elizabeth, you're heading on to the finals. Big happenings from Austin, Texas. All right, so I want to talk about this idea that you're meeting with a seller and they say, look, it's a seller's market. I want to pay you less. Here's the thing, you guys, there actually is commission pressures, but understand that those pressures run with markets. The real question that we all need to get our arms around is what's the invaluable offering that we're making to the consumer? See, this is the idea behind companies like Keller Mortgage. The concept was that other companies were trying to bundle services to reduce real estate commissions. And we were all trying to bundle services to protect the fiduciary. You see, the reason I don't say protect commissions, because the truth is this, y'all can't help yourself. You just want to love people and help people. And I know you would do it for free. But what Cody said is right. There's costs to selling houses. There's costs to helping people buy houses. And the day that value doesn't run in direct line with those costs is when I wake up and realize that I don't understand not just the free market, but the way the consumer actually thinks. Because here's what I know. When you can solve problems at scale with real solutions that help people, then it's good and true for all people. And everybody should have a wage well due. All right, we're going back to the board. We got Tony and we got Matt. We're going back to the board.